My name now for Pratt, and I just want to call we attention to something where they go on right now at the country. Right now while they talk so, Jagaban go. He gets placed at 6 Mile where he wants for open a bike assembly plant. So a bike assembly plant now like a factory. Usai then go come with all the motorbike, then parts them, bring them candy, and a day now they go can see them, fix them together and produce the bike then. So that that's not something we Sierra Leone need, because as we know, job creation at Sierra Leone very very poor. Salon work not it, and one of the reasons where they make people and they run away come on Sierra Leone, they go to other country them now because of job facility very very poor in Sierra Leone. And a bike assembly plant, now one of the things them we go create massive job for Sierra Leone, go bring in taxes for the country, the much needed revenue we need, and go open international trade for Sierra Leone. How we go open international trade for Sierra Leone? We all know for saying like now West Africa, motorbike now one thing where people and they use so much now West Africa, motorbike. And they use them so much now in the whole of West Africa, not only in Sierra Leone. In fact, if you remember, Okada business now from Nigeria, we copy and bring and kind Sierra Leone. So if we get a plant assembly factory, then we don't get a way for sell bike to places like Liberia, like Guinea, Ivory Coast, go down to the Gambia, even go to places like Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger, all them places, and they go come for buy bike from we. We go bring in the most needed revenue, go make job there for we people then. But as I talk to us now, the Sierra Leone government don't send policemen them for stop the ceremony where Jagaban for all this morning when a groundbreaking ceremony. That now like that ceremony normal way, then the old way person want for bill. You understand me? You want for bill factory, they don't send day for let police go stop them. So my problem I want for ask the government of Sierra Leone, why are they destroying Sierra Leonean lives? Why the government of Sierra Leone not proactive? Why the government of Sierra Leone not progressive? Why the government of Sierra Leone they ensure say them for do all things in them power for destroy developments at Sierra Leone? Why them for bring politics inside this development? We know say yes, Jagaban on a rival, but this thing not call for rivalry, because this thing now for the development of Sierra Leone, now for make the country go before. Why una for send police there for stop the man in ceremony? Is Jagaban not a Sierra Leonean? Jagaban a foreigner? When they allow foreigners them for do what they want for do in that country day. The man when is Sierra Leonean now we all be the grumble say okay, Jagaban they take money they give people individually. They no do not no big investment. The first massive investment with this man they plan for doing that country the way from push the economy go forward. When they go back on the destroyer. I want for call up on Sierra Leoneans them every Saturday you get this message today. Saturday today is the 23rd. Saturday the 23rd of August. Do ya any side you day in Sierra Leone? I want make you put more on this talk, and I want make you send these videos to the authorities that let them know for say Sierra Leoneans then we reject this the action, we not agree with what thing they happen, and this now part of the plan for frustrate we nation. And we reject it and we refuse it. So we they call upon the president, if he knows about this thing, then the political party, when I the SL people, I like it swear people they let them when I don't get down, I feel to say anything people and they do. Now politics on for put on. I know the members say this not way for bring developments come for young people them, but when they destroy them, God will go before now. God will go before now. So I they call upon the president of Sierra Leone and the head of police. Police not supposed for going under, not a police business. What's in the crime Jagaban commit? Then they tell what's the crime we commit, wait for make them stop this thing.